Hi. Now, if you want to travel for work, school, or you just want to explore a new country, now you would know that applying for visas, getting a visa is one hurdle that you must cross before embarking on your desired trip. Now, I'm going to be sharing useful tips to help you navigate the visa application process. I'm going to be talking about three things, and then the first thing is going to be know your visa type. I've seen instances where people apply for certain visas and do not know, or maybe did not spend time, reading or maybe asking questions to determine if they were applying for the correct visas. Now, if you're visiting family, or it's a leisure trip, you're going on vacation and visiting family, the right visa that you should be applying for would be a visit visa, a tourist visa, and each country would group this visa into different categories. Like, for example, if you're going to the US, it would be the B1, B2. If you're going to the UK, it will be the visit visa. If you're going to, if you're applying to most Schengen countries, it would be the temporary visit visa. So you want to understand the visa category, because if you apply for the wrong visa, your visa application, in most cases, they will not correct it for you. They will just deny your visa and have you go apply for the correct visa. If you're going to study abroad, of course, you know that you would be applying for the study visa, which also gives you right to work part-time while you are there. Now, if you're going abroad to work, then you know that that's a completely different visa from the tourist visa or the student visa. You find someone that will say, oh, okay, if I apply for tourist visa, can I go and convert it to, work visa? If it was that easy, a lot of people would do it. So you must understand that countries understand, which is why they put limited restrictions, for this purpose, so that people would do the right thing. So you would find that in most countries, it is difficult to actually, change your status from, let's say, visit visa to, let's say, work visa. It would require you, most of them would require you going back to your country to reapply for the correct visa. So you want to ensure that you're applying for the correct visa when making this visa application, because if it's the wrong visa, your visa application will be denied and you'll be sent back to do the right thing. Now, another thing you want to do is that you want to starting early in terms of preparing for your trip. Most times you find students that need time to actually prepare their visa and then provide any proof of enrollment or employment or whatever they need, or accommodation or funds or whatever they need, and they're applying a month or 2 months, to when school is starting. Like, why would you want to do that? If you don't have time, then the best thing for you to do would be to defer your admission in any case. Or if you know that you're going for a business, you want to give yourself time to plan for it. I would tell you, start planning 6 months before your trip, but apply 3 months before that trip, depending on the category of visa that you're applying for. Of course, if the student's visa, you want to do that really early, so you give yourself time. But in terms of the tourist and the business visa, you should plan at least 6 months before your trip, and at the very least 3 months. Most embassies will allow you to apply up to 3 months before your scheduled trip. So you want to prepare early. Preparing early would also help you come up with whatever documents that you need for your visa application. Even if it's for you to build up your financial proof, it would just help you. Which takes me to the next thing, which is your financial proof. Now, your bank statement is important, and for most countries, they usually require it at 3 to 6 months. You have most countries requiring 3 months bank statements, and others will require 6 months bank statement. What they want to see, the reason why they want that period is to notice the consistency in your bank account. They want to see within a period of 3 to 6 months the activities in your bank account, because they want to be sure that it is consistent. So if you know that you are traveling and if you know that you need time to build your financial proof, why not start now? Give yourself, if you're traveling by this time next year, you should know. Okay, let's say you don't know, 6 months to your trip, you should know. And what that means is that you should start building your financial record. The bank account you know you're going to be presenting for that visa application, start ensuring that you have consistent income going in there. If your salary was not paid in there, you want to make sure that your salary is paid in there, so you would show that as proof of not just available funds, but also the proof of the source of your funds. So you want to give yourself time to build your financial record and present a clean bank statement that would improve your chances of getting a visa. Someone is sponsoring your trip, you have a family member that is, or a spouse that is sponsoring your trip, you want to ensure that you give them enough time to generate proof of the funds so you can include it in your visa application. So you want to give yourself time, you want to give whoever is sponsoring you time to provide the documentary evidence that you need. And then of course, part of planning is ensuring that of course your passport is not just valid, but at least it's valid for at least 6 months. Most countries always require 6 months from the time, as you might have a passport that is valid for 6 months from the day you arrive in the country. So because by the time you plan early, you would find out that you would notice if your visa is almost expired. It would give you time to renew your passport and be ready for your trip. So you see why planning early is very important. I would tell you, do it 1 year. If you think 1 year is too far, at the very least 6 months, you should know if you're traveling or not, because it also gives you time. It also gives you time to buy the right tickets, because tickets, once you get closer to the time that you're traveling, to your travel dates, tickets become expensive. So you want to give yourself time to buy your ticket early, 3 months, 2 months before your trip, because once you get to within the 4 weeks to your trip, tickets become really high. Yes, I know most times during peak seasons, tickets are usually, very high, but you must understand that airlines will sell the lower classes, the cheaper classes first. So the cheaper ones will go first, because people would, price it to the cheapest before the very expensive one. So you want to give yourself time. It would also help you make some savings in terms of buying your ticket and all that. So these are just general, tips to just help you if you're just starting out. And I hope that, you would not make any of the mistakes here. You will not be applying late. It will just help you prepare better, ask all the questions you need to ask, and present a better application. So I hope that this was useful. If you like this content, leave your comments. It is from the comments that I get that I'm able to put out videos that would help you. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye. I wrote a book, and it's called Girls Don't Travel Just for Flowers. Now, if you don't have a copy of this book yet, you are wrong. To get a copy of this book, if you're abroad, you can get it from Lulu Bookstore. If you're in Nigeria, the bookstores where you can get one of it is RovingHeights. You can actually buy on RovingHeights and have it delivered to you. And then if you want an author's copy, that's a copy that has been autographed by me, you would have to book directly, to the website, or you can just send me a message here, and then I would just let you know how you can get a copy of this book. So this is a book that you need to read, not just you, your children need to read it. It is something that I think everyone would relate with. It's not just about travel adventure. It is deeper than that. It's a light read, but with really, really deep, and powerful, I call it a powerful book, so get a copy for yourself.